Hi, hello, and welcome to the channel, and good evening. Hope it's a great day. I just took this vlog to give a brief about the top speed of Himalayan. So if you are a person who's looking for a high speed motorcycle or a cruising high speed motorcycle for highways or on a daily commute, I hope this is not the bike for you, because this is a 411cc linear power gear delivering engine, and it is considerably good in power but not great. In this 400cc segment we have 390 Adventure, which gives twice the power delivery. But why people take Royal Enfield Himalayan is the big question actually. ADV in this segment at around 2.5 lakhs. The best cruising speed of this is around, for my preference, it will be around 90. So if you cruise at 90 or 100, it will be like smooth engine to run. But when we keep it throttling more than 100, it is going to shout out a lot. It will go till 130, at times 135 also, but it is kind of a peak energy out, which we will not feel comfortable riding it. And considering the shape of the vehicle, 130 is a bit unstable for me. Like, I have driven it at 130 place, but I don't feel it comfortable, because if there is a small rough patch or unwanted potholes here and there, we are going to get seriously blasted. The vehicle loses its control easily at that speeds. So I would recommend, if you ride at 90 to 100, which is a stable good speed for Indian highways, yes, you can go for this. The beauty of the machine doesn't lie on the tarmac, but it lies on the off-road, because it picks up crazily in off-road, and it has enough torque to throw out than the KTM Adventure. Because at second gear you can keep on rolling the wheels for a good distance in a off-road track, but at KTM Adventure it is not possible. You have to come down to first, or the engine gets stalled, which is a pain on off-roading track, because you don't have a plain surface to put your foot down and stand correct. So I would recommend at that point of thing to Royal Enfield or any Royal Enfield stable, because they are built like that. That is why people in and around Ladakh who wants to go to Ladakh prefer Royal Enfield, because of that initial torque in this segment. But if we go towards some premium segment, yes, it serves the purpose, but we pay a premium price for that. And yeah, as I said, the top speed is 120, 130, which I never plan to take it, because it is not good for that. And regarding the mileage, I get around 30 to 32, 33, which is decent enough, I believe. The running cost is around 2 to 3 rupees per kilometer. And maintenance wise, it is not a big hole in the pocket. You can easily maintain it. When Royal Enfield launched this bike, they gave a wonderful thing that it is a maintenance free bike, and you can get it serviced 10,000 kilometers once. But because of the continuous issues they faced in BS3 engines, they came down to 5,000 kilometers service. And there is not a kind of any changes in the oil or something. Like, just we go for a checkup at 5,000 to check if there is any faulty thing, so that we don't screw the company later. And eventually it serves the purpose also. We get it cleaned and checked, so that we don't face any issues in the long run. So every 10,000 they change the oil, which is a good thing compared in the present market, because the earlier 350 classics and 500 classics used to go to service at 3,500 kilometers, which is a short span. Now they have increased it to 4,000, but still 10,000 oil change is like a good thing to get observed to, because it doesn't burn so much of money from your pocket. And other than that, the fun on the riding is like extreme. You will simply love it, because the way the suspension is built on this motorcycle, it is going to give you a more comfortable ride rather than any motorcycle. I used to ride my friend's bike whenever we go for group rides or long rides. Generally we used to swap bikes and ride for some quite distance. But when I come back to this motorcycle, I feel it is like more complete and easy to ride rather than any other thing, because in terms of seat, it is a kind of a sofa. It has got some memory foam kind of a seat, where it helps you in chilling around, say, for kilometers. And regarding the power, as I said, it has enough torque to pull you up from 0 to 60, 80. But post that, I don't think it gives so much of fun post 80. And what else to discuss? Yeah, the sitting position, handling is all fun. Like, I don't have any complaints on that. The handlebar is super fun. It actually, mine is a broader, very very broader handlebar. So the shorter one is also good. It is easy to handle than this, but oh, check this. This is going to happen for sure one day. Some accident. And as there is a 8 o'clock curfew in Bangalore, things are getting closed now. It is around 7:30 in the night now. I don't know how good the clarity is because GoPro doesn't capture that good video output on a low light, especially at nights. I think because of the additional headlamps here and there, there is some visibility going on. So I have dropped a video on the modifications I have did, the add-ons I have did, exercise I have added in the previous videos somewhere, some fighting videos back. But if you're interested, you can have a look. And that's it. Till now I have ridden around 14,700 kilometers. In my perspective, it's a beautiful machine. I have no complaints, but it is one beautiful machine in this price segment. And yes, if this is kind of a entry level adventure touring vehicle, so if you are going for something big, and if you want to test your passion towards motorcycling, yes, you can go for this motorcycle and then test if you are interested in off-roading and things. Because running kilometers on track in the terms of a tarmac will not give you so much fun. But when you ride on a off-road patch, that is gonna be a crazy experience, because the amount of excitement and amount of adrenaline rush we get from that is gonna be like phenomenal, which we don't get when we ride on a 100, 200, 300 kilometer patch, which is gonna be like just on the roads. We are just gonna cruise, which is like fun in the initial part, but when we go for more and more kilometers, we don't have fun in that. We have to make out things in a different way to keep it excited. And in that terms, in this price segment, yeah, I would recommend this. This will help you decide whether you have the passion towards off-roading and adventure, and then go for a bigger engine and a bigger bike. If Royal Enfield comes up with a model or a release of a 650 Himalayan, yeah, I would right away go for it with no second thought, because the engine of Continental and Interceptor 650 is sweet. So on a chassis like this, with shocks like this, yes, I would just take it right away. Let's see, like, I don't know whether they're gonna release it this year because of the corona issues. If they release it, it's gonna be a good thing. If they don't, it's also a good thing, because when we buy it, we'll have some tracks to roll on. Now we don't have anything, because last weekend, last Sunday, we went for a bike ride, and it was an off-roading patch actually, close to Bangalore, around 50-60 kilometers from Bangalore. When we are about some 2 kilometers to the track, we have to cross to some villages, and the people did not allow us, saying that it's a general awareness. It is common, nothing to complain there.